his address to the grad class and parents and community, please join me in welcoming Mr. Joaquin Garcia.
Shout out to Matthew Ho. Now he owes the ice cream. It's only 9 pages, Mr. Tinsley. I feel blessed. Ever since I swung from the monkey bars at the old VCS, I've always dreamed of being up here, speaking on behalf of my beloved brothers and sisters whom I hold so dear. When I was young, I looked up to my cousins, Carver VCS graduates who walked down this very stage, who sat in this very theater, speaking from this very podium as their own class's valedictorian of 2015. And tonight, it will be seen if these big shoes placed in front of me will be filled, not thrown aside, if I can inspire you with the same strength and joy that I myself have aspired by. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Or as my French people would like to say it, comment ça va? I stand before you today as a Vancouver Christian School valedictorian of the class of 2022. Can I get a big round of applause for all our graduates for making this far? Yeah. On behalf of our class, it's time to appreciate the people, the individuals who have made the last 12 or so years of our lives irreplaceable. To our principal, vice principal, teachers and staff who have modeled the way of Jesus, who have deeply cared for us as students, who are willing to not only teach us socials and sciences, English and languages, math, Bible, PE, or electives, but have prayed with us, cried with us, and been there with us throughout our whole journey. We thank you. To our coaches and instructors who instruct us outside of the classroom, who pushed us to be better than our very best, and who saw things in us and through us that we never would have seen alone. And to my very own volleyball coaches who got me to provincials where we placed second. Next year, you better bring home the banner. Yeah! We thank you. To our office staff and our librarians who got to know us, who took the time to know our names, birthdays, our likes and dislikes, our mornings and our afternoons, we thank you. To our classmates and fellow friends who were the reason why we went to school, who filled our school lives with love, life, and laughter, who have inspired us to become better students, better friends, the capable women and the capable men who sit before me today. We thank you. And lastly, to our family, who support and love us unconditionally, whose bond of blood is thicker than water, and especially to our parents. Mom and dad and guardians who have provided for us, sacrificed so much for us, who made our lunches and drove us to school, who washed our uniforms and signed our permission forms, who chose to propose this warm and welcoming community for us to grow in unity. We thank you and we love you. On September of 2010, 3 major events took place that would forever shape my life for the better. 1, I started dancing at Fresh Groove. Because I failed at the VCS talent show audition. Yet, this past month, my group competed as a finalist on the very first Canada's Got Talent. VCS has been extremely vital in this journey, and I would like to again thank this entire VCS community for all of your kind messages and all of your encouraging support. 2, my brother was born on September 22nd, 2010. He has been with me since the very beginning, always cheering me on and cheering me up with his joyful attitude and endless humor. Lorenzo and Garcia. I will miss high-fiving you in the hallways, embarrassing you in front of your friends, laughing with you until we fall to the floor, and loudly singing with you to no end. We've annoyed our dad so much. I love you. And finally, 3. On September 7th of 2010, I came to VCS in grade 1. I remember greeting our elementary principal, Mrs. Freestone, walking across the long hallway and meeting the people I would spend the next 12 years with for the very first time. Although I left for the Philippines in grade 2, I came back in grade 3, where I've attended VCS since. I owe it all to my parents, and to this community I have grown to love and cherish because of its intrinsic values of Christ-centered education, community, and connection. Our school has meant so much to us. It was a place where life-lasting friendships were forged, the leaders of tomorrow made. A place of self-reflection and self-empowerment where we basically grew up. It was a place of short lockers, bathroom stalls that didn't fully close, and where little kids couldn't tell the toilet from the floor. This past year has been the most fun and memorable we've had so far, but it's also been one of the most emotional. VCS will always be a part of our lives, and I'm truly going to miss our fun times together. Fellow graduates, I want you to think back upon your learnings here. What will you remember tomorrow, next month, or next year, or even in a decade's time when we have a 10-year reunion? It won't be how to cite your sources with MLA 9 citations, or using kinematic equations to solve for acceleration. It won't be solving for molar concentrations, or conjugating avoir or être in the passé composé. We will remember the unforgettable memories we have made here. We will remember the building of healthy relationships. And from this year's talent show and Emmys, we will unfortunately remember the burning image of Jesse throwing it back.
Jesse!
I'm so glad to have grown with people who would leave the campfire only to meet up again to sing Disney songs with each other and write encouraging notes to one another. I'm so glad to have people who think that putting chairs in the stairwell was a great prank, only to be forced to put them back afterwards. And I'm so glad to be truly inspired by each and every one of you here. I am impassioned by your grit, your determination, and your individual passions for the things you love, for the people you care for, and I am beyond grateful to have been with you for basically my whole life. When I think of the class of 2022, I think of resilience. We've become experienced in adapting to every single transition thrown at us. We graduated elementary school in grade 6, took the bus to Carver for 2 years, only to end up right back where we started, at VCS, in the same cramped neighborhood, the same old roundabout. Yet, we kept moving forward. Yet, we endured an entire global pandemic together, and yet, here we are now, about to graduate from high school. The longest chapter of our lives is about to close, but don't be afraid. VCS, the path set before us will be long and winding. And most of us probably can't see a foot into a fog, but we will get through it. Just like the stars in the sky, our future is limitless. And with the sword of God at our side, we can do anything if we put our minds to it. These past few weeks, I felt compelled to share a Bible verse with you all. A passage that has popped up quite a few times in my life this year. And it's something I think God wanted me to speak about. 2 Timothy 1:6. Fan into flames the gifts of God. I know for a fact that each of you here today have been blessed with your own God-given gifts and abilities, talents and personalities that I encourage you to continue to fan into flames as you move forward in life. I encourage you to be the spark that will ignite a wave of change over our city, to be the candle that brings the hope of Jesus into our society. But it won't be easy. The world will tell you that the stars are too far to reach. The world will ignore you, spit on you, and ridicule you. The world will give you 4 X's and 2 no's. And will put you under hellfire too hot to handle. But it may very well give you a golden buzzer. Gold cannot be purified without fire. Diamonds cannot be formed without pressure. Oaks cannot grow strong without relentless wind. And lamps cannot be lit without an ember. So stand up. Stand up. Take your light, forged in the crucible of life, and shine it for everyone to see. Take your light and be the flames that the darkness cannot contain. Be a light, and together we can shine brighter than 1,000 stars. You may sit down now. So congratulations. Congratulations. You made it. You pushed the first and maybe the greatest of many obstacles that God will place in our lives. You survived the beginning of countless hardships that will teach us the ebbs and flows of life, the importance of toil and strife. At BCS, we were prepared for a life of transformation and service through excellent, Christ-centered education. And as I look at the children of God who sit before me, I think we're ready. As we leave this building today, our paths might all be different. But I encourage you, nay, I challenge you, with the opportunities you will receive, to be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. To take your talents, take your flames, and do all that you can in Jesus' name for God and for the coming of His kingdom. Thank you. Oops, I almost forgot. I love you all and God bless.